Hello and welcome, terrific Taurians. How are you all? Well, happy birthday. It's the start of a new cycle for you. A new year begins for you. So it's going to be pretty full on as usual, but I hope to be able to give you some sage advice that will help you along the way. Now, for May next month, which isn't too far away now, on the 4th, you have the new moon coming into your first house with the sun and Uranus that are already there. So this is all about your identity, and it's a new start. And as I said, it's the new start of a new cycle for you, in fact. So with the sun there, you're going to have greater awareness about who you are and what you really want in life. This is all about you this month. Okay, so Uranus brings unexpected things, and Uranus rules over electricity, technology, the internet, and can be very unpredictable, like a bolt out of the blue. So it doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad luck. It could be good luck. You might find that you win some money unexpectedly, or somebody pays you back a loan that you didn't expect, or something like that. So that's the start for you. Now, on the 7th, Mercury is also going into your first house, and then on the 16th, Venus joining the crew in there in the first house as well. So there's going to be a lot of communications within you and about you deciding who you really are and who you want to be in the future. Things are changing. You've got change around you in terms of how you appear to the outside world. And it's more a deepening. It's not like you're going to radically become a new person overnight or anything like that, but it's more like a deepening of your true self, if you know what I mean by that. Okay, now the first half of the month you have Mars in your second house, which is all about your value system. And it's things like money. And with Mars there, you could be quite motivated to go out and find innovative ways of making money. So your creativity will be peaked, so to speak. That's Piqued. And you'll be feeling like you're more inspired to, fix any financial issues you might be having, and to bring more money in and to spend it wisely. You'll be motivated to do, get organised. So that's always useful, okay? So now we have the 16th of Mars. Mars then goes into your third house, which is communications, siblings, and your local area. So trips, in your local environment. You might be find that you're going down to the town more often to post letters, or if anyone posts letters anymore, I don't know that they do. But it's all about you gallivanting and gadding about where you live, close to home. Okay, could be communications with siblings, that or somebody in your family, like a brother or sister that maybe you haven't heard from for a while. Okay, the 18th brings the full moon in your 7th house. The full moon has a tendency to bring up stuff in our subconscious, okay? So that could be a little bit bumpy. The 7th house is about committed relationships. So these are not casual sort of liaisons. These are, could be a business partner even, or a romantic partner, or somebody like a husband. But the full moon there will bring up anything that needs to be released and that needs to be sorted out. Okay, so you might find there it's a time of, if you've been in a committed relationship for a long time, it might be a case of renewals, that you renew your vows, or that there's a deepening in the relationship, that somehow things are smoothed out. Or if it's the situation where a relationship is just sort of hanging by a thread, it could be a make or break type of time. If you're single, it could be a time where you meet somebody that's very suitable for you. Okay, on the 22nd, we see the Sun and Mercury joining in the second house as well. So again, it's a time of achievement, happiness. You feel like you're getting somewhere with the Sun. You just feel happy. It's expansive. It's about awareness of your finances and things like that, and what you value, not just money. So it could be ideals such as integrity or hard work or things that you really believe in. You become more aware, and with Mercury there as well, it's all about communication. So a lot of thinking and planning, and maybe even studying about money, or looking at ways to get loans or mortgages around your house, that sort of thing. Now, Jupiter continues in your 8th house of shared resources up until December. And the 8th house is about intimacy, sex, it's sharing with somebody else. So it could be also a case of like taxes. In Australia, we say superannuation. In the US, it's 401k, I believe. And so it's like there's a lot of rules around that, and the government tends to get involved. So if you're reliant on the government for money in any way, there could be some things there to sort out. But with Jupiter there, it's about growing and expanding and abundance. So it's likely to be more positive than not, okay? If you have contact with the government, they might actually be contacting you to give you money rather than take money for a change. Okay, so let's have a look at the psychological cards for Taurus in the month of May 2019, and let's see what sort of vibe we're getting. Yes, so when I close my eyes, Taurians, I can see the door being closed on the past, which is right, because you're going into a new cycle. And for some of you, I actually see the door being locked. It is done and dusted. Okay, so the card I get is grief. Okay, so that's the outer card, and let's see what goes. So it might be a case of grief having the door closed finally. Okay, Taurians, May in 2019. Okay, global, I get the word global. Okay, here we go. The card we come out with is getting older. All right, getting older, and maybe there's some grief that's, you know, a parent has died, or perhaps an older partner, or some sort of authority figure that you looked up to, and there's grief. It might not be that they died. It might be grief over the way that you were treated at some point, but you'll be closing the door on that finally, done and dusted. And so you can release that and let that go. So just have a think. These two cards here, burn them into your memory and think about them. What does that mean to you? Okay, because I've given you my interpretation, but more importantly, what does it mean to you? How is it relevant to you? Somebody old there, and grief around it. Okay, it could be just a case of, if you're a woman particularly, maybe even a man, that you've got some grief yourself about getting old. It's not easy getting old, and yet we all do it. So there comes the awareness of your own your mortality on this planet, in terms of this physical body, of course, not the actual spirit, because the spirit is immortal and we actually go on forever. But it is hard in society if you're a woman and you're getting old. Like once you're getting into your 50s and 60s, or maybe even 40s even, you start to become aware that society, traditionally in Western societies anyway, society doesn't value the wisdom and the knowledge that we have once you get past a certain age, whatever age that is. It's sort of arbitrary age that people just pull out of a hat and say, oh, if you're over 30, you're over 40, or you're over 50, whatever. that, you know, you've got limited value to society because you can't breed, or you're not 20 something anymore, or, you know, it's just a completely complete understanding of what happens when we get old, and how much more knowledge and how much more wisdom we actually get along the journey of life. Anyway, Taurians, I would love to wish you now a very happy May and a happy birthday, and I hope you have found something helpful in this video. If you like it, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. I've had this channel a long time, but I've decided now that I'm going to grow it. So I would really appreciate if you subscribe and click the notification bell so you can get updates when I'm doing something on YouTube. Thanks so much and have a lovely month. I'll catch you next time, and bye for now.